unfold around you now. He's trapped inside the pain. Maybe I should stay in the dark after you've had it to a place so far away. All those crazy thoughts are going through my mind.
You're Mia, the HR and recruiting at Extra Mile. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you for having us here. The office is beautiful. Let's get right into it. How did you get into logistics?
So that's actually a long story. Basically, in 2018 in July, I believe I went to a Serbian rap concert. It was like Belgrade.
Okay. Let's preface this entire story. So you were born and raised in Chicago.
Yeah, so born and raised in Chicago. Yep.
Okay. So
Half Greek, half Serbian.
Born and raised in Chicago, but you're also of Serbian descent.
Yeah.
We're also sitting here in Belgrade in an office for future reference. So you end up in a rap concert in America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Belgrade's a syndicate. So.
Okay, so that's the start of your logistics story.
Yeah, basically.
All right, take me through this. How do those two things go together?
So basically, something was kind of pulling me there intuitively, like just go alone. Like I couldn't find any friends to kind of like go with me.
Yeah, I mean, Serbian rap concert in Chicago.
Yeah, and
most people are probably driving trucks. They can't make it.
The entire audience was.
All the white Volvos are somewhere on the road at this point.
Yeah, and so basically, I had two guys come up to be like, "Oh, hey, why are you, standing alone or whatever, something like that." Anyways, at that time, I had a property like foreclosure maintenance company and stuff like that. So basically, like when the banks take over, properties, and so that kind of was going downhill. And then, long story short. Basically, they had said, "Hey, get into trucking. We can teach you how to drive, stuff like that." And at that time,
So these are two drivers, I would assume.
Yeah. And at that time, you didn't need to go to CDL school. So and I was just like, "Shit, I'll do it. Like, I'll try it out."
So a Serbian rap concert in Chicago, you meet two drivers. They tell you, "Hey, your job's not going great. Just get a CDL."
Yeah.
And you did.
Yep. And I was still doing my other job, and I was like just going, certain days on training and stuff like that. And I ended up doing it. I learned on a 10-speed. It was like a 2005 Volvo.
White Volvo.
Yeah.
The story checks out as Chicago.
Legit,
so.
def cut off. Yeah.
So how does that go for you? You start driving the truck. Did you start going OTR, doing local? I mean, probably a team to start.
1 month into training, I went OTR by myself.
Wow.
With no school or anything like that. So
that sounds there should have been some more regulations.
Yeah, I went all in, but everything was good. And then about 6 months later or so, 8 months later, I got my own truck.
Okay, so take me through the type of freight, what company you started. I mean, you don't have to name the company, but I mean, what were you doing for those first 6 months? Just OTR drive-in?
Yeah, just OTR.
I figured.
Yeah, he basically threw me to the wolves.
Here's the truck, good luck. Dispatch booking you freight.
Yeah, he's like, "No, I'm done. Like, you're good enough."
You did all 50 states, or you're running some similar routes?
I did all 50 states. I would say not really the West Coast though.
So mostly spot freight.
Yeah, no, it was spot freight.
Wow.
Yep, it was spot freight.
Okay, so 6 months goes by, you're stacking some money, you're making some money, learning how to drive the truck. You buy your own truck.
Yep, and then I actually had started with a company called Rolling Raspberry, another 369 Rolling.
I think I've heard the name before. I'm not familiar with them, but I've definitely heard that name before.
You had to heard. And I basically started with them, and then they had ended up helping me finance a truck and stuff like that. So basically, I got a.
I mean, based on the name, was it reefer for you?
So I know it wasn't. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Drive-in. And we were doing good stuff.
I mean, that would be a good name for a reefer company.
Yeah.
So how long are you driving for?
Well, since about 2018. So
you just stayed on the road.
Yeah, I mean, stay on the road till about 2021, 2022, and then.
Right when the market crashed.
Yeah.
Okay, how was 2020, 2021?
Well.
You had your own truck at that point?
Yeah.
So how was it?
I mean, it was good, and I was doing team driving with a friend, stuff like that too. We were killing it. I mean, doing loads that were high value stuff like police escort, the
There
iPhones.
was that 10 grand a week pipe dream that everybody thought was gonna last forever. Everyone kept buying trucks. What did you do?
I stopped driving at that point.
Stopped driving.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah,
so you stacked your money and just got out. So what are you doing these days, logistics based? I mean, we're sitting in a logistics office, so clearly your story did not end there.
Yeah, so I mean, weird enough, in 2019, with my boyfriend at the time, we ended up getting involved in a huge truck accident. Jeez. I was in the back. Yeah. So then that kind of put me out. I broke a couple ribs. I was doing rehab for a couple months, and then 2 months in, because I was like, shit, I still gotta hustle, I still gotta do it.
Still need to pay bills.
Yeah, and then I got back in it. Kind of fought through some of the PTSD and stuff. It was pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
So I pushed myself.
Where were you guys? Was it winter accident or just freak accident?
So it was in Indiana. It was No, it was March or something like that. And it was like
Yeah,
a
like-
trucks must use left lane, and a Western Express truck like slammed us like from the right. We hit the wall, head first into a
So
crane.
truck versus truck crash, eh?
Yeah.
Not even
yeah.
like a
The
pedestrian.
dude just wasn't paying attention, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of those dangers. I'm sure you've seen, you know, like with the CDL scams down in Florida with people getting licenses that should not have a CDL. I mean, it's a big issue, especially like, you know, you've lived through that. Having
Yeah.
a driver maybe not experienced enough, or maybe he was too tired, or who knows what the circumstances were. Basically, I mean, that's the side of the industry that a lot of brokers, unfortunately, maybe shippers, customers, they don't understand the risk that drivers are taking. And if you've never been on the dispatch side, carrier side, or obviously like you've been in the driver's seat, you don't really appreciate the risk that goes into that. I mean, every single day you guys go out on the road, that's, you know, your life is on the line. And unfortunately, I think drivers don't have enough respect from most people in the industry that aren't in their position. Especially, you know, like the brokers, when they call us, say, hey, like you're running behind, get there faster. It's like, I want the load to get there. I don't care if it's going to get there on time or not. I just want them to get there safely. And that was always, when I was, you know, dispatching, I always told my driver, like, no load is worth the risk. Like, if you can't make it, just park, sleep. Like, I mean, a load can always be rescheduled.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of things like, for example, as a driver that, you know, a lot of people don't know. For example, road closures. Again, I-40's closed. That's another big thing now. For example, if you're overweight, I mean, if you're heavy and stuff like that with loads, if you have a heavy load, you also can't drive the same speed.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
random traffic and stuff like that.
And I mean,
that
there's a
hits.
lot of brokers that honestly, they don't understand the risk of like light loads in the wintertime. They're always
Yeah,
like, oh,
that too,
take
yeah.
my load, 10,000 pounds. I'm like, listen, like the truck's gonna fly over if it's, you know, some people need to understand the driver's point of view and like what it's like to actually be a truck driver. I obviously can't sympathize that I've never driven a truck. My biggest fear is reversing the trailer. that's what's always kind of stopped me from thinking about getting into driving a
Like
truck.
jackknifing, you mean?
Yeah, like just
Yeah.
not knowing how to park the trailer.
Oh, backing, yeah.
I'm a great
That's
driver.
That's the easiest thing.
Yeah, because it's big. So I think that's just my fear in my head, right? Because I've driven a lot of like Sprinter vans with trailers with like an excavator on it, and like that's a small trailer, like a little bit to the left, a little to the right. It's moving a lot. I feel like with a semi truck, it would be like a little bit easier.
I mean, it's honestly like a formula. It's like, oh, like back up, like the back of your window, literally to the
like
door,
how
to
you're
the dock, and then like 3 o'clock, and then like back 12
I like how you're
o'clock.
saying it's that easy. It's like the same conversation. So I can't drive a
just whip
manual
it.
car, right? And we're in Serbia, and I can't drive manual, and I'm Canadian, and everybody's like, it's so easy. You know, you just press the clutch and you move this and go. It's really easy. But I never really tried. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what stopped me from being a driver. But I mean, take me through maybe your best and worst time on the road besides the crash. That's obviously more like funniest to load, funniest, just not like crazy stuff. But.
God, I mean, I was hauling literally everything. I mean, from like the one pallet of iPhones that we were waiting like 12 hours for, police escort stuff. Then the police can't catch up to me. For example, they're like, oh, we want to stop and sleep and rest. And I'm like, okay, like.
We have a
I can
load
just
that
literally
needs to be delivered.
Yeah, I mean, so we were doing a lot of those loads. I would say I was hauling like live bees and stuff like that.
Live bees?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
Did you see the news article where the bees tipped over on the highway like a
No.
month or two ago? There was like
Wow.
50,000 bees, I think, just on the highway, like just chilling, causing problems. Like,
Damn, yeah.
I would never do that. I'm scared
No,
of bees.
no. I mean, and as far
What's
as
your like funniest story, like funniest load, funniest situation as a truck driver?
I'm trying to remember that now. Like, for example, there were a couple situations where, I don't know, I'll just start with like the inconveniences of being a driver. I mean, like the stuff with supply chain management and stuff like that. I mean, you go into a freaking place, you have an appointment and stuff like that, and they're telling you like it's an 8-9 hour wait.
Yeah.
And that's when you know like who's a real driver and who's not. I mean, like, are you gonna you offer to order like Uber Eats for them, tip them,
Yeah.
have money, you know, like.
We just did that actually. So we had a guy, we have one shipper, and they're like notoriously pretty slow in the nighttime. I mean, it's flatbed freight, you know, night shippers it's like few and far between, doesn't happen often. But we ended up having like 4 drivers that were there for like longer than normal. It's normally a long wait, but this was like extra long. And I just told my team, hey, I'll just order them some Uber Eats, man, give them some pizzas. Like, I mean, the funny part of that story is when I was driving through Bulgaria, I stopped at a truck stop, and I have a video of a driver had like a full kitchen set up. Like he had like literally like the juzva for making coffee, like Turkish coffee. He had his own like gas burner. He had pots, pans. He was cooking himself a meal. He had like a little table. And just the day before I left for Bulgaria, I had this situation where all 4 drivers told me, we don't have food in our truck. What are we supposed to do? We can't eat. We don't have food. The very next day, I'm in Europe and I see this guy cooking himself a meal. He has somehow like a little water reservoir on the back of his trailer. He's like doing his dishes, like pots, pans. And I was like, just the disconnect between American and European drivers when it comes to taking care of themselves on the road is...
No, people don't have the hustle anymore in the United States. I mean, really, nobody got that, like,
I mean,
quick...
you have a fridge, keep some cans, even cans of tuna, peanut butter, like just some stuff to feed yourself, you know? Yeah,
that's a big thing.
How did you guys stay healthy on the road? I mean, that's a big topic. I mean, driver health.
Yeah, so I would get those like to-go Sunkist like lemon pepper tuna packages. I had my protein powder.
Hey, you just ate the tuna salad today, raw tuna.
Oh, did you legit? Oh, no.
So you're into tuna, you like tuna?
Yeah, like, I mean, I was a bodybuilder and stuff before too, so that was a big thing. And then of course with driving and stuff like that.
Kinda.
So yeah, another thing that made it kind of really difficult for me driving, which is a reason why I had to quit actually at that time. I was diagnosed in like 2012 with like late stage Lyme disease. So if you know what Lyme disease is and stuff like that, it's, you know, you're bitten by a tick and it's...
Yeah, I've heard the story. I have no idea that like actual consequences of it.
Yeah, so I mean, like when I was driving, I was running even 1,000 miles, 1,200 miles. I was strong soloing the shit out of it. But, you know, what helped me, actually from Serbia, I was bringing like IV supplies and everything too. Yeah. And every time I'd be like feeling that like jet lagged feeling, I would go and like hook up to the curtain like my IV, and I know how to pull my own IV and like my supplements, peptides and stuff, and protein powder. Yeah.
So you were like serious on the road?
Yeah.
Like you didn't gain any weight, you didn't lose your health at all.
No,
you were just
no.
Out there like living healthy.
And I was surprised how long it took me to like lose muscle, honestly. Like it took me quite a while.
Yeah, I've been worried about that, so I've been training pretty hard, and I took like I think 2 or 3 weeks off when I was doing like Mexico and all these like things, because I just the gym there, the dumbbells only went up to like 40 pounds. Like they just didn't have equipment. Like I was there for 2 weeks. I didn't have like a proper gym. And I felt like when I got back to the gym, I was going to lose everything. And it was like right where I left off. So,
yeah.
Like 2-3 weeks a month is like...
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we're all panicking. I think like the panic of like losing your gains is like you're actually going to lose gains from that rather than just training. It took a long time.
I mean, were you working out? Were you going for walks? I mean, what were some of the physical things you were able to accomplish in the
When
truck?
I was able to, because people... Like the whole thing is, when you're gonna make the time, like you'll make it. But it's with trucking, and honestly, it's really hard. Like there were days that I would like park, I don't know, my delivery appointments like 6 a.m. I would find a Planet Fitness at like midnight, 1 o'clock, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, when I wake up, I'm gonna go train.
Yeah, no.
And I'm just dead.
Yeah,
It's like, do I get there earlier for my delivery and like get unloaded?
Do I just show up late because I want to go to the gym?
Yeah, because you're all like next load.
Yeah.
And
That's
you don't know
how you make money.
Stop that.
I mean, that's how you make money, right? Like the drivers that listen to dispatch or dispatch themselves, and they just are on point. You know, they're not late. They're trying their best. That's how you have to make money. Like I've always told every driver that I took care of is, as soon as you start giving me limitations, every limitation is a loss of money to you. Like if you limit the weight to 40,000 or 35,000, if you limit, I don't want to go northeast, I don't want to go here, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go to this city, I don't want to haul this commodity. Like every limitation starts to make your life harder to make money, and it's unfortunate. But at the same time, the drivers that really do take it serious and listen and like let dispatch kind of do their job, I mean, those guys are making money.
That's what I'm saying. It's no one to compromise.
There's money to be made for the drivers that want to go out there. And I mean, you tell me, how was it, right? Like, just you tell dispatcher or whatever. Like, just give me the next load.
I mean, I've been on both sides. I knew when to compromise, but I also knew when to take
just
the load
kind of
more
let
and
it
just
happen.
Say,
this is what's out there. Yeah.
I'm gonna start booking my own loads.
Yeah.
So I took over a couple times, and I was like, all right, bam, I found it. You know, they're telling me no loads on the board. I'm like, okay, come on.
Hey, I mean, it all comes down to strong dispatch, right? Any trucking company, the heart of the operation is going to be who's booking the freight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how money gets made. The drivers need to drive, the dispatchers need to book the freight. That's the recipe of trucking. And I think that there's not enough respect towards the drivers or, you know, the people booking the freight. And especially, like, we're sitting here overseas, right? Like, you're born in America, I'm born in Canada. We're sitting here in an office filled with amazing dispatchers, filled with amazing people. And I mean, Americans look at everybody that's overseas as like scammers and stuff like that. we're normal companies doing normal jobs. We're doing everything how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, obviously, there's scammers. But at the same time, the loads don't disappear from the guy sitting in a chair in Serbia. They disappear from the guy in America stealing it. So.
And our work ethic here, I mean, stuff's on point, you know?
Yeah. I mean, what would you say to people that say everybody overseas are scammers in our industry?
No way. I feel honestly, if we could just take half of the people from here, take them to the U.S., build the economy like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big, big thing.
I mean, let's go through maybe your funniest story, and we'll probably leave it there.
Okay. I'm trying to remember now.
I feel like you didn't have any fun in the truck. I feel like you were like really disciplined and like you kept your health in check.
if you would ask me,
I feel like you
your
didn't laugh
scariest moments,
once. Like,
no, if you could bring me your scariest moments, then
okay.
no, I had situations like, man, like we were basically, that was when I was a new driver. It was like 5 p.m. and I started seeing all the trucks like going and parking, and that was like, you know, in one of the truck stops. I was like, maybe we should stop, you know, switch drivers, because I was team driving at the time.
Okay.
And I just kept going, and then we stop again on the side, we switch, and then apparently we didn't see there's a supercell. There was like some tornado starting. So then I got stuck. I was 45K heavy.
like all the trucks stopped like because of this tornado.
Yeah,
Okay.
And we drove basically through the big supercells, like 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Are you serious?
It was like driving through like a tsunami, like Godzilla was like punching. And I'm like having a panic attack in the back. My friend's driving the truck, and I'm like, why did we do? Like, why didn't we stop? Why did we stop?
Everybody
fuck
else
this,
stopped.
fuck this. You know, and it broke the coolant line too. The wind was so strong, like it was direct like lateral wind, so it broke the coolant line in the back, and it was leaking coolant. So we had to hide under a bridge, put water in the coolant tank.
I mean,
and pray to God we're gonna go. You know,
I just watched Twister, I think the second one, and like the quality of the movie really like makes that event more terrifying, because like you could see in high quality like what that probably would have looked like, and you actually had to see it in real life. So
no, I've actually seen tornadoes like literally to the like east of me. I mean, like looking like this, I'm like, man.
All right, that's something I would not want to experience.
Yeah.
Just before we kind of leave off here, take us through your day-to-day today. What are you up to? What are you gonna be up to? And I mean, what are you guys kind of looking for these days?
As far as what, being a driver, or
No, like logistics based. What are you up to these days? You know, are you guys hiring? Are you guys this? Like just like a little. Take us through what you're doing today. In
yeah.
logistics.
So I mean, basically, because I stopped driving, now I'm working in extra mile and stuff as an HR and recruiting manager and stuff. I do retention as well. So basically, you know, any concerns that drivers have, basically, I have to, you know, give them a call, stuff like that.
Being an
like,
ex-driver, that's obviously a huge advantage too, because they actually would trust you and you would actually understand what they're going through.
Yeah, and then dispatch concerns and stuff too. Also, I when I'm back in Chicago, I do like the fleet management stuff also at the yard and stuff like that. And it does help me because my dad's like a mechanic. He has his own shop, and I mean, I've done injectors with my dad on my truck. I've done like overheads and stuff. So I mean, most of the time, like if a driver's calling me has a problem with the truck, I end up actually figuring it out faster than some of the fleet guys and stuff like that.
I mean, that's first-hand experience versus book knowledge, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you got to be out in the field, touch those things.
Yeah.
I mean, we had an interview with a lot of fleet managers, and he was in Chicago for a while too, doing like mechanic stuff. And he was smart. What he did was put like a GoPro on his head and like changed like, you know, the headlight and changed the blinker, and like with a GoPro on his head. And so then whenever a driver would call him with these like miscellaneous problems, he would just send them this video of him like physically doing that repair, and then they would just kind of follow him along. Like, so.
Even that's surprising, but man,
that's
tough. So I mean, that's basically what I'm doing now. I mean, I'm in, you know,
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit.
Basically, just dealing with the drivers.
But there are times now. I mean, especially with, you know, right now in the market, and plus some dedicated lanes that we've like recently acquired. I think it's these Apex lanes. I'm probably going to be like doing both, like the double stuff. So I'm going to be driving and doing the retention and HR and stuff like that. Yeah, with the headset on. Yeah, I'm going to be back doing it. So
and getting back on the road.
Yeah. I got to make up for when I stopped when the market was good.
Yeah, that's a good place to leave it. Thank you for meeting with us, and good luck. Stay safe on the road.
Thanks.
inside the pain. Maybe I should stay in the dark after you had it to a place so far away. All those crazy thoughts are going